Good evening and salutations, my Days of Alliance fans. So, start off with Sunny and Alex. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not liking Sunny. I haven't liked him since he's been back. It just always seems so whiny and just annoying. And Alex comes in with some flour. I mean, with some balloons and some jelly beans and stuff like that, just to kind of wish him a speedy recovery. And Sonny gets an attitude with him. I was literally trying to censor myself so hard. He gets an attitude. He's like, "Oh, you're sitting there taking over Titan and this, that, and the third, and you've been trying to gun for my job and yada yada yada." And Alex is like, "Yo, listen, I only took the job so this way the stock prices wouldn't fall, and you would have a job to go back to." Okay. He literally said, like, "Yo, listen, Uncle Vic told me to do it. I stepped in, and I'm only doing this stuff so this way. Like, I don't want your job. I'm just making sure that you still have a place to go to." And of course, Sonny just starts going in and whining and complaining. His usual thing he's been doing since he started, since this new one started. Alex is like, "You know what? Listen, I'm good." And he starts to walk out, and Sonny apologizes, and he's like, you know, he's upset. He's laid up in the hospital. He can't really do anything, and he's frustrated. But he recognized that he took out his anger on someone who's just there to try to help. So he does apologize. Like, okay, cool. You lost a point with me. You gained one back. And then Stephanie comes in and Stephanie talks about some deal that Alex made um, behind Sonny's back. This was something that he talked to Victor about. And, Sonny didn't know about that. So, they had this nice little bonding, brotherly love moment. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like, oh, this is really nice. And in my head, I was like, man, I should have knew this was not gonna last too long. And it didn't. Because when he found out about the deal, he was furious. And once again, he went right back to, "You're trying to gun for my job, this, that, and the third." And you start whining and complaining. Alex is like, "You know what? I'm out. I'm done." And he walks off. Stephanie tries to stop both of them from arguing, but it's too late. So, Alex, well, let's see, who made it to office first? Sunny. No, not Sunny. Stephanie. Stephanie's there, and she's writing articles or whatever. She's doing something. And Alex is like, well, he comes in and he says something to her. Now, at this point, I'm just not there thinking, because Stephanie is giving Alex hella shade. Okay? The whole time that's going on, I'm like, Alex, do you want to sit? I'm like, Stephanie, do you want to sit there and hear his side of the story? Or are you just going to sit there and just go off of Sunny's side and that's just it? So Alex is like, oh, let's, how about we sit there and talk about it over drinks? And she was like, no, 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 I'm good. So now we're doing this 180 going back the other way. Oh my God, this woman. She is frustrating the living hell out of me. She literally is. First, she goes in with the whole, which to be honest, she was totally within her rights as far as, the whole SH. Okay? And Alex is wrong, and Alex backed off, and it's like, all right, cool, let's just work, let's just get this thing done. But then after hearing from, I think Justin, I was about to call him that, Justin and Bonnie, she's all like, oh, well, let's just then have one drink, which already, by the way, at that point pissed me off. And now she's like, nah, let's just keep things professional. And I'm like, and the sad part is that at some point, because now she's ice again. At some point, she's gonna thaw out, and she's gonna be like, "Oh well, let's sit there and try this again or whatever." And here's the thing: I don't have patience for that. I don't have patience for that. I'm not really a coupling person in general, but I damn sure don't have patience for the back and forth, back and forth. No, not doing it. she has already started to test my patience. Clyde wants to sit there and marry Nancy right away, and then at the end, Nancy be like, "I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want our marriage to be simply to punish him or to hurt him or whatever." Um, he's like, "All right, yeah, you're right or whatever." But then Nancy's like, "Oh well, I want to sit there and invite Craig or whatever because we're family," and I'm like, "What if he has problems with you inviting Craig?" I mean, the dude, he did tell Nancy that the dude was hella jealous. Now I'm pretty sure he kind of left some stuff out as far as just the things that he said to her. I mean, the things that he said to Clyde in general. It's amazing. I mean, before I even started recording this, you got this, you got GH, you got two murder mysteries. And I have no idea who's the killer on either one of those shows. Now, obviously, like I said, I've been saying this for a while. Days have been killing it, okay? GH is starting to pick up some steam. And I don't know why I didn't sit there and point this out before, when this whole hook killer thing started. But now it's like, it's funny because I was going to sit there and say, it's a good time to be a soap fan. And I'm like, is it really? I don't know about that. But it is interesting that both of them got two murder mysteries, and I can't tell who did it on this one and who did it on that one. Now, he has to then go for his random, test or whatever, his random drug test. And always have to sit there and try to be careful about what things I can and can't say because, YouTube and stuff. But, so at some point, he leaves and he goes to the hospital. He, bumps into, okay, so he bumps into Alex. He's like, "Hey, watch it, son." Now, this is after him being like, "Oh, I'm just so I'm not really happy that Ben and Sierra can't be there for my special day," which does suck. But he runs into Alex. He's like, "Oh, watch it, son." And Alex is like, "I'm not your son." Now, granted, that's not to us because if you've been watching for a while, we know, Ben and Alex, yada, yada, yada. Um, so after that, after that, Clark looks at Sonny. Now he has a flashback, okay? And he has a flashback of him being in the office the night that somebody attacked Sonny. He was actually in the same, well, not in the same room, looking at Sonny with the knife. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why? Like, seriously, why? I know a while back, EJ got threatened by Orpheus, and they're saying if you say anything, we're going to sit and take care of your family. But he hasn't really told anyone except for Bella. And I don't remember Bella telling anyone else outside of that room. Unless they bugged the house or something, which, to be honest, the fact that Orpheus is able to get in and out of his laboratory and his dungeon or whatever, it's possible. But at the same time, I don't understand why. I mean, what did he do? Orpheus told Clyde to take out Abby and then take out Sonny to frame Leo. I mean, that's the only thing that I can draw a conclusion of. But I'm just like, I don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but has Clyde ever actually killed someone? And I don't mean like self-defense. I don't mean by like accident. I mean like on purpose. Like he literally came in there was like, "I'm ending you today." Okay? I'm in the mood for violence and I'm gonna take you out. I just don't see it, but I could be wrong. And please let me know if I'm wrong because I could just be talking hella crazy. Again. Only been watching the show for about 3 something years, give or take. I don't know. I gotta sit there and think about the first time I actually did a video on YouTube. Um, Chad comes there to talk to Rafe about Vanilla. Well, he comes to sit there and talk about Craig and the fact that Craig might be the one that did it, because he smells vanilla on him, and that Leo. Yeah, at this point, I think everyone can kind of agree that Leo has done some really terrible things. Known for lying, this, that, and third. Being a killer, it's not exactly one of them. Um, but with that being said, they're just like, all right, it could have been Leo. I mean, it could have been Craig. At some point, Chad does talk to Nancy. He's like, hey, has Craig ever wore vanilla? Like anything vanilla? And she's like, what? Because it is kind of an odd question to sit there and ask somebody, did your ex ever wear like vanilla? It's like, I don't know. I kind of purge his memories out of my mind, but it's like, no, 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 no. But she's like, Clyde, he wears a lot of vanilla. And at first, I thought it was very feminine. Because, apparently a man can't wear vanilla. Just like a man can't watch soap operas. But here I am. But it's like, yeah, Clive's not there, and at first, whatever. But now I start to like it. Chad, remember when he hugged Craig? When he hugged Craig, and he smelled vanilla. He remembered that Clyde was not that far from him. Like literally, was not that far from him. And Clyde did sit there and confront him at first, wanting an apology. Now at this point, I don't know who did it. I mean, Craig comes up to Leo, and Leo's like, "Oh, you did it, right? Just tell me you did it. Come on, your ego wants to sit there and tell me. You're just burning to sit there and tell me, pretty much." Um, Craig grabs him and everything like that. He's like, "I didn't do it, but you're gonna, whoever did it, you deserve it, or something like that." And, Leo's like, "Oh, you have craze in your eyes. You're so much of a crazy sociopath or whatever." I'm like, eh. Now I could sit there and say that the minute that Clyde was like, I gotta sit there and get a drug test, I'm like, Clyde is going to mess that up. Okay? Clyde is going to Greg is going to mess that up. Craig is going to mess that up. I'm like, the minute he talked about it, it's just right there. Doctor can easily come in and out. I feel like he's going to mess with his drug test. I'm going to be honest, I just don't know who did it. Okay, and the last scene is with Jack and Jennifer. Jen's still sitting there taking pills. And at some point, Gwen comes by, and I'm just like, Gwen, why is it that every time you walk into a room, you always seem like you're in a place that you don't belong? Yeah, I know that Jack lives there, but come on, let's be honest. Doug and Julie don't like you. Jennifer don't like you. Nobody really likes you in this house. Why are you here for? You can't sit there and meet him at a coffee shop or something like that. You had to sit there and just come on in there. She comes in there. She talks about how she turned in Leo or something. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember which. I think that's what it was. And Jennifer thanked her, but Gwen was like, "I did it for my own selfish reasons." Hell, even when Craig came in there and Leo was like, "Oh, I can't believe she did that." And then Craig was like, didn't you do that first? Didn't you sit there and practically throw her in the bus first? And even Leo was like, yeah, I deserve a bit of payback. I'm not gonna lie. I deserve a bit of that smoke. Gwen was like, listen, I mostly did because I want to get back at him. It was mostly out of spite. But even she said, she's like, yo, listen, I don't think that he did it. And she tells him why. She talks about the story that Leo told her in the hotel. And even Jack is like, yeah, it just doesn't really add up. So Jack leaves because Gwen leaves and Jack walks her out. And I guess Gwen must have forgot something. Now, Abby was doing a whole lot of everything to make sure that Jack did not catch her with those pills. When she popped one of them and Jack came in there, she put him behind her back and then she hugged him like this. And then she, put him behind the picture frame of Abigail. When Gwen came back, Gwen sort of was like, was good. What's going on? It's like, oh, I just, my allergies, whatever. But here's the thing: Gwen has dealt with that since her childhood. She knows when somebody is there hiding an addiction, hiding pills and things of that nature. So she saw the signs and everything like that. And how she even was like, yo, I remember my mom used to do that too, hide pills and stuff like that behind picture frames. And, then she starts like, oh, I'm going to help you. And, if Abby was here, and I'm like, Gwen, stop, stop, stop. I'm like, bro, you shouldn't even came in the damn house in the first place, okay? You're lucky that Jack is your father and that he's you're on his good side right now, okay? But now you come in there and you're all like, oh, I'm gonna sit there and tell Jack and he has the right to know or he can help you or something like that. And I just want to help you. Like, is this chick serious? Everything that you did to that family, you want to walk in there and be like, I want to help. And I'm so mad. I'm just so devastated. I never got a chance to, reconcile with Abby. I'm like, really, boo? Really? I would believe it if it was anybody else. With all the drastic, terrible things that she's done over the years. Nah, boo, nah. No, just no. But then Jennifer's like, yo, listen. If Jack had to choose between me and you're done, so, okay? I'm the only, she literally was like, I'm the only reason why you have a relationship with Jack in the first place. So you keep your damn mouth shut and get the hell up out of my damn house. She yells at her and she scurries off like the little rodent that she is. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Gwen either. I'm not. I know some people are, and bless your hearts, it's just not me. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Not me. Anyway, I feel like that's about it for the most part. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. Before I go, I am gonna sit there and try to do a live stream today. Um, I always try to go for 6. It might be 7, but I'm gonna try to go for 6. You know what? I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post when I'm actually gonna do a live stream tonight. But it is gonna happen. Well, hopefully it's gonna happen. And yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.